So now you're ready to conquer some shared spaces, decluttering things that both you and your spouse own. Where do you begin? Just remember to start small. So I've been decluttering with my husband for years, which tells you we're not going very fast, but we're also not making a lot of impromptu, irrational decisions that we may regret. My instincts, my nature is to be impulsive. I just want to do things, and I've been burned by that a few times. So it's nice to have a spouse that kind of slows me down and helps me think things through. Now, for the past 5-6 years, we have been on this journey before we even knew what it was called, and it's a journey to living with less. Journey toward minimalism, you might say. Going to Goodwill and decluttering things is one thing, but we never changed our habits, or I wouldn't be sitting here today saying we're still doing it. So remember, go back to that first video if you need to. Start with you, and that means changing your habits. Stop bringing the stuff in that you don't really love. Stop doing retail therapy and having those impulse purchases. What you might want to do is start with a small space like a junk drawer or the bin where you keep your mail. A large space that I would advise not starting right away, unless you've been doing this for a while, of course, is something like a DVD collection or a CD collection, because each of those are going to have some sentiment attached to it. Another large space would be the entire kitchen versus maybe, you know, the plate collection, just the plates or just the mugs. We have so many mugs. So in fact, that's actually one of our hardest things to declutter, are the mugs. We just love mugs. Wouldn't even drink that much coffee anymore, but we were very addicted to it at one point. So pick a small space, pick something that you can achieve success, pick a win. You may encounter some obstacles with both large and small spaces, but typically more with larger spaces. And the obstacles are sentiment and feelings and attachment. We've become attached to our things in this modern day society, and I don't know if it's because we haven't always strengthened our souls and our spirit. I know that I've done some major soul searching, you know, maybe even living without God as close to my heart as I should have, and I probably filled that void through shopping and collecting, and I've assigned objects value that don't deserve it. You know, either they don't deserve it or the object doesn't really have the value. It's the memory that has the value, and I'm getting confused in that area, and maybe you are too. So if I come across a VHS tape, in fact I watched a video this morning on VHS tapes. I still had several. I don't anymore, they're gone now, but I had like Superstar, for example. I loved Saturday Night Live growing up. I wanted to be on that show. It reminded me of those good feelings. But did I need that VHS? Does that mean that, you know, my love of comedy is now invalid if I don't keep my video? I'm still me regardless of that stuff. Now, some things may be truly important to you, so keep them. But do you need to keep them hidden in a bin, in a shed, where they're not getting that love and you're not looking at it, it's not bringing those warm fuzzy feelings? Perhaps you can display your sentimental items on a place of honor somewhere in your home. That way you're really using it, and it's not just another piece of junk getting dusty that you have to walk around every time you want to do laundry. So sentimental feelings are valid. It makes sense why we have this nostalgia, but it's not always healthy to hold on to every single physical piece when really what you're holding on to is the memory. Journaling is another good way to preserve some memories. Take a photo of that item, donate the item, and then you have the photo. You know, this is just my advice to you. I'm not sure what you have, but hopefully some of my words can speak some truth to you and encourage you to let some things go, and the things you want to keep, actually display them in a place of honor. If you can't honor it and you're just feeling bogged down by it, it's sullying the memory of that beautiful person. So maybe it could go on to another home and you can still remember your godmother, your great-grandmother, with or without that jewelry box. So once you've picked your space, whether it be small or large, again, I think if you're new at this, start small, but if you're pretty seasoned and you feel good, pick a large space. You know which obstacles you're going to come up against, and those are most likely the sentimental feelings and the what if feelings. So here's my process, what I think would work for you. There's a few ways when you're working together with someone. You can work side by side. You can each look at every single item and look at each other and decide and talk and make a decision in that moment. Keep, donate, recycle, display, whatever. You want to set some boundaries for yourself. So these boundaries are your rules, not my rules, your rules. The rules can be one bin, or this shelf, or 3 items each. Whatever your arbitrary rules are, and choose it and stick with it. Those are your rules. If they feel too tight, relax them a bit, but you do want to push yourself to grow, so try and not make it so easy that, oh, we just have to get rid of a few things. Push yourself. You're watching these videos, you're inspired, so set some boundaries for yourself. Now, if you don't want to work side by side, another way you can work is divide and conquer. I'll look at these bins first, you look at the, or I'll do this area, you do that area, and then we switch. That can also work. Now, maybe you have a spouse who is indifferent to decluttering. They don't support you and they don't not support you. They're just kind of like, whatever. You know what? That can be a blessing. Go for it. If they're indifferent, go for it. Do it all. But I would caution against just tossing everything that's theirs, because in 3 to 5 years, that indifference may become, why did you throw away all my stuff? Some things happen in marriage and we get the lines of communications crossed. So what I would recommend in that situation is collecting like a small pile or an area of things that you aren't sure about, and say, I'm done, I've done my job, but I want you to take a look at these few items just to make sure that it's okay that I donate them or sell them. Give that partner a chance to take their indifference and turn it into actually being interested and caring. And you don't want to get yourself in hot water down the road. This sounds real quick and real easy, but this can take a long time. It's the difference between, spring cleaning, which is just around the corner, and lifestyle change. Honestly, because like I said, we've been doing this for a long time, so it was never a lifestyle change. It's just an ongoing, boring thing. And living minimally should be exciting, because that means I have fewer Saturdays to do this stuff and more Saturdays to go have some excitement. So this is, hopefully the end of this boring, overwhelming process of dealing with too much stuff. Now, we've talked about you and your habits. In this video, I addressed shared spaces real briefly, but hopefully enough to get you started. The third component to the source of a lot of your stuff, I know, are friends and family who love you so much they just want to shower you with gifts. So if you're interested in my take, and of course my take is influenced heavily by the readings I've done and the videos I've watched, but if you'd like to see my take on how to address the people who love you so much that they've spoiled you rotten with all those gifts, subscribe and stay tuned, because that video will be the third piece to my Minimize in March series. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on your journey to living with less. If there's something that's in your home that isn't being used, it has no purpose, it causes you stress, it's time to let it go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.